not out, and Downton was on 28. 484 for 9. The Australian bowlers, Lawson came back at the end and finished with 3 for 109. McDermott 3 for 117. A little bit of a problem there with injury, I'm afraid. Thompson 2 for 142. And I liked Simon O'Donnell's work. 27 overs, 8 maidens, 1 for 77. At the start of this fourth day, England 153 runs ahead. We pick up play now with the fourth ball of the day. Norman Cowans, who is rated around the counties as a genuine number 11, is facing Jeff Thompson.
That's a nice full pitch. No problem at all in putting that straight down the ground there for 4. Another glorious stroke. Over-pitch ball, admittedly, but beautifully put away by Downton. Lovely cover drive for 4 runs. Already 2 boundaries in the first 2 or 3 overs here. Heading up to 73 in all in this England innings. Extremely high percentage of 4s. It's a hook shot. Quite shrewdly played too by Downton.
Pretty good shot this, because there's 2 men out there and he managed to keep it down just sufficiently to bounce short of them, which is quite a good shot. At least the bouncer seems to be bouncing a bit higher this morning anyway.
Back come the 2 slips in the gully with Cowans facing. What about that? Got that halfway down, and that was put away in most professional manner. Through mid-wicket all the way along the ground. And that brings up 500. On the board, 9 men out. It's the highest score that England have ever made on this ground against Australia. And who would have thought that after watching the first day's play with that ball seaming all over the place? Downton then settles down to face McDermott. Oh, gonna let it go. It's a great shot. And 4 runs, they can all right this time. And Downton moves very quickly into the 40s. 41 now. Beautiful shot. 4 runs. Again, that half volley round about the legs, a flick of the wrist, and it's a very good 50 for Paul Downton. Under 2 hours, just faced 90 balls, and that's his 9th boundary. So here's Jeff Lawson going to have his first over of the day. Lawson to Cowans. He's picked his spot again, would you believe it? Back, flicked it over deep square in the air, but again perfectly safe. It's 4 more. Slashed into that one. Again, that extra pace of this Headingley outfield does its work for Norman Cowans. Successive 4s, he goes under 22. England's lead exactly 200. 31, 531. McDermott in to complete his over. And it's all over. So Downton the man to go. McDermott takes the wicket, and Norman Cowans remains not out.
Probably Paul Downton trying to probably just push it over the covers here. I think he was trying to lob it over the top and didn't quite give it enough. But that's been a tremendous innings again from Paul Downton, full of good shots, and not many people have played much better than he's played in this match.
Yes, that's certainly one of the best innings I've seen Paul Downton play. 54 he made, and Norman Cowan's 22, a partnership of 49. First of all, to take England to their highest score ever against Australia on this ground, and then through to 533. And the bowlers today, only 3 of them used: Lawson, McDermott and Thompson. McDermott picking up the last wicket, that of Downton, 4 for 134. So Australia, when they began their second innings, saw England with a lead of 202 runs, and I reckon Australia needed to make about 400 to be in any way safe from defeat in this opening test match. Botham's first over was bowled with Andrew Hilditch taking a single from it, and here's the first ball now. He bowls to the left-hander, Graham Wood. And the trap is being set for Wood behind square leg. There was an orthodox long leg, Cowan's, and now a man has been put out about 15 yards in from the boundary, just behind square. And that's why he was so fear.
Extremely short delivery from Botham, which Wood has to get right under, and in bending down, he's certainly in quite a lot of pain with his back.
That's in the air. Lamb is coming around, and that is very bad batting. It's good bowling and thinking, but I don't think we can give Graham Wood too many marks for thinking. With 2 men there, the trap was set. No one tried to hide it, and the first wicket is down in what needed to be a very big Australian rearguard action.
Yes, the compulsive hooker, and Alan Lamb runs in and takes a good catch around knee height. And good thinking by David Gower and Ian Botham.
Well, Hilditch has got away with a 4 there that just went over the wicket-keeper's head. There were 2 men down waiting for him for the lofted hook shot as well. So the skipper on the field, David Gower, talking with Paul Allott. Alan Border next in for Australia. 9 for 1. And Gower, after Australia's excellent first day, will be highly delighted with the way things have gone from that point on. Hilditch taking strike. Oh, well bowled. It's just about the perfect example of the leg cutter for any young fellas watching. You can see the fingers go over the top of the ball.
Excellent delivery. And Hilditch completely at sea with that one.
Some of the workers outside the ground had the problem of fixing all the lights and various things that are going wrong out there. But, unfortunately for them, the contraption seems to have become stuck just above the ground.
Picked his spot this time. Well, a slow long hop, in fact, there from Ian Botham. And yet another boundary rattled up in this match. Hilditch going on to 16 now. It's a better shot. Just that a little bit shorter there. We saw that shorter one put away by Hilditch, and now a couple of vessels just as that extra second to put it away in front of square.
Yes, this is his favourite shot, and there's nobody in the game plays it much better square and just behind square on the offside.
That's where there is no fielder. Robinson's a long chase, but it'll be all to no avail. It's just the one delivery there that Paul Allott with this field can't really afford to bowl. Over pitch ball, a big wide open space, and square cover all the way around. 50 got on the board for Australia.
A very nasty start for Australia, with Graham Wood trapped by Botham and Lamb, and by David Gower as well, for only 3. Andrew Hilditch and Kepler Wessels played well, though, up to the luncheon interval. 26 to Hilditch, 20 to Wessels, and 1 extra, total 50 for 1. And the match situation at that point, Australia still facing an immense task. 152 runs. Chap and an attractive blonde, bring him something out on the field, and all goes well until his sergeant comes along to take a little snap, either to put in the Police Gazette or to use in evidence against him. Well, the young man took it all in good part, but he was a bit flummoxed. It took him a long time to turn his head to check on exactly who the blonde was who'd brought in the lunch. We pick up play now after the interval and after the constable and sergeant have left the field with their cameras, with the first over having been bowled by John Embury and Kepler Wessels taking 4 runs from it. Norman Cowans now comes in to bowl the first ball of the second over. He's bowling to Andrew Hilditch. It's a big hit from Hilditch. That's on, if you can have a long part of the ground here at Headingley, that's it. And he's smashed it away over long leg. The very first ball he's received after lunch. 50 partnership came up in just 88 balls for Andrew Hilditch and Kepler Wessels. There is a third man. He's fairly wide, Paul Allott. In fact, so wide that you can't stop that. 10 runs have come from 2 balls, both of them fairly short for Norman Cowans. Just a single to Hilditch. For 1 now. Hilditch 37, Wessels 24. It's one of Hilditch's favourite strokes, the cut. And he didn't hit it all that hard, but there's no chance of Cowans pulling it up. That is where the big slope is on this Headingley ground. Here's Cowans bowling to Wessels. Just beaten Gower, but it won't go for 4. They should be able to pick up a 3rd run with the ball racing down the hill. Embury, the off-spinner, is going to bowl to Kepler Wessels, left-hand batsman. Very fine sweep. Cowans is the fielder, but has no chance. That's typical of Kepler Wessels. He'll play defensively, and he'll launch an offside stroke or a sweep. Four runs to Wessels. Picked off once again. Kepler doesn't mind playing over after over defensively, as long as he can get the occasional loose ball, and he always has a high percentage of boundaries in his innings. And once again, 4 runs. The 2 boundaries have come from balls that have given Wessels the chance to make some room. And a change in the bowling. Cowans, after an unsuccessful short stint of 4 overs for 17, makes way for Graham Gooch. It's reasonably sharp in pace. He's only medium quick, but he's hustling on to the batsman today. He's forcing them to hurry their strokes a little.
The stroke through the offside. Cloud's going to chase. He'll pull it up all right. Coming back for 3. So the applause for Kepler Vessels. He moves on to 50. And once again, a fair flood of boundaries in it. 8 fours in his 50, which has come off exactly 90 balls. The helmet there in his position at short leg, only a couple of strides away from the batsman, and equally close at silly point. That's swung away to mid-wicket. Perfectly good, legitimate shot for 4 runs. So the 100 rattled up. And 3 for 1, Australia. HILDITCH moving on to 49. Well bowled, angle that across the left-hander. Not the greatest deal of confidence in that shout, but very close.
It's amazing how close the ball gets to the edge of the bat. That must have happened 30, 40, 50 times in this test match without anybody getting a touch. You certainly can't get any nearer than that.
Just a polite request there. Nothing very serious about it.
Always a risky thing to do with the off-spinner bowling from this end. Bit of drift, probably. But it looked quite straight, did that?
Well, that is certainly straight and driven for 4. Embry suffering. They keep taking 4s off him. That one to HILDITCH is also safely past the 50 mark, so what a good match he's having. That's straight 2, and that'll run down the hill. Norman Cowan's no hope of stopping it.
Yeah, she certainly never get tired batting out here. You'd have to do too much running.
John Embry then giving way now to Ian Botham, the Kirkstone Lane end. Embry's figures at the moment, 12 overs for 37. Not for the first time. Vessels has greeted him with that square cut. A little quiet to set off for the first one to begin with. And as a result, they only took the single.
There is a forecast for later in the day of some rain. So it'd be nice to try Embry at both ends before that happens, if indeed it is going to happen. Oh, both of them just short. What a lovely pickup. No chance for Cowans to catch that. Oh, you got to go down to chance, but what a marvellous attempt by Tim Robinson. That would have been one of the greatest catches in the history of Test cricket had he clung onto it. All these things are if. But a terrific effort. That's a good shot. Almost predictable that the bouncer would come after the drop chance. Hilditch was, if not exactly standing there baseball style, at least getting his feet shuffling as the arm came over. Beautiful stroke for 4. That was a good shot. He just delayed his stroke, angled the bat. Very good piece of cricket from Andrew Hilditch.
John Embry going to get that opportunity from the rugby league stand end. There's been quite a lot of discussion up here about where the majority of the rough on the wicket is. So John Embry having a chance to exploit what there is at the far end.
Bowling with one that kept low and went on with the arm. A slightly rueful smile from John Embry, but that's the break they wanted. And it was a good piece of deception from him. He had Vessel starting to play for the spin, and the fact that it kept low just made it that much more difficult. Vessel's out for 64, bowled by Embry from the football ground end. It's 144 for 2. 7 runs added to take the tea time total up to 151 for 2. A very good delivery to dismiss Kepler-Wessels. It might have kept a fraction low, but it was Embry's arm ball. It deceived Wessels and bowled him off his pads. A fine innings from Kepler-Wessels. He's a very tough character, tremendous concentrator, and he played very well out there in that partnership with Andrew Hilditch. 139 runs they put on, and Hilditch just 20 away from a second 100 in this match. The bowling figures for England, I thought Allett bowled well early on, 8 overs for 17. Botham, once he settled down to bowl a line and length, was good and had 1 for 50. And Embry, when he got to the football ground end, 17 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 45, looked a different bowler. The statistics at that point, 51 runs behind Australia, and still in trouble, but they do have 8 wickets in hand, and the weather was closing in. Well, Ian Botham bowled a maiden the first over after tea. Here's the second over with John Embry bowling to Andrew Hilditch.
And he's gone, swept it round to deep square. Really an odd sort of position there. Man looking to save a single. Robinson the catcher, just behind the umpire. And really no man's land. But it worked out through a piece of field placing. Sees the end of Hilditch for 80. Perfectly safe to play that sweep shot there. Make 3 out of it, I think. Robinson in action on all parts of Headingley. Well covered up on that Australian balcony there. Sun's disappeared. It's still pretty cool wind out there, and it's blowing right onto that balcony. Batsman to come, Richie Phillips. Andy Donnell will be looking to get off the mark, and this is his first test match. Lawson, McDermott and Thompson. Both of them bowling with 2 slips, gully, cover and the mid-off. And there's that difference. The ball lifts, and it's caused a problem there for Alan Border. And that's the danger for Australia. That one lifted, just caught the outside edge. Border goes, and he's out for 8. Caught by Downton off the bowling of Botham. That's another viewpoint, Ray, of that dismissal. And, not a lot he could do about it, actually. Tried to pull the bat away at the last minute, but really had no hope. So Greg Ritchie will be the new batsman on his way out now to join David Boone. So Richie gets away, strangling it down to a third man for a single. And another successful Botham over. 17 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 54, his figures. Oh, look at that. No hope at all there. That ball just shot straight along the ground. The unfortunate Richard goes, and it's real trouble for Australia. 160 for 5. Once he decided to play back, he had no hope whatsoever.
Yeah, well, the only chance he had here was if he'd been playing well forward, he might just have got at that, but you can't do much about this. You can see it again here, played back, and in fact it bounced about, well, if you could say it bounced about 1 inch up the stumps, and this is also a great problem for the wicketkeeper now, because the one that Ian Botham got Boda out with really took off and carried through chin high to the wicketkeeper, and he's not quite sure where to be either, but that was very, very unlucky. That really is the lowest delivery of the test match so far. And you can see how John Embry has grown in confidence as the innings has progressed. You get a wicket or two, you get on top, and he's varying his pace now and bowling very well indeed.
That's floated up, clipped through mid-wicket, races away out of the 4 runs. Steered that wide of slip. That's always infuriating to the off-spinner. 4 more. Anxious moments for Simon O'Donnell up there on a pair.
And it's to be Paul Allard at the Kirkstall Lane end. Good shot for 4 from Wayne Phillips.
Umpire Barry Mayer checking his light meter. He doesn't look at all happy with the conditions. They're having a long think about things out there, but they're going to offer the batsmen the light, and they won't have to think very long about before making their way to the pavilion.
In fact, they came back very briefly, and another 4 runs were added to take the total on to 190 for 5. Boone not out 20, Phillips not out 11, and a very fine spell of bowling there from John. Bowling figures for England: 2 for 62 for Botham and 3 for 63 Embury. They are the wicket takers, and as well, they were the best of the bowlers, although Allard did bowl a very good first spell. So conditions were quite good. The forecast was sunny in the morning.